I'm Shan, and this is Life with Shan. This is going to be a video about all the books that came in the mail for either I ordered or gifted to me from publishers and authors while I was gone on my honeymoon for most of March. The first few books I purchased through Book of the Month. I've talked about them before. It's a book subscription box. It's monthly. You can skip whenever you want. It's $15 to $16 for your first pick, and then every book you get after that first book that month is $10 to $11 each. They're hardcover books. They are now doing audiobooks, and they also sometimes do new releases, but earlier they actually come out. Start is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. Megan Miranda is one of my all-time favorite authors, so I'm very excited for this book. It is published on Tuesday, April 7th, 2023, and I'll read you the synopsis. A decade ago, two vans filled with high school seniors on a school service trip crashed into a Tennessee ravine, a tragedy that claimed the lives of multiple classmates and teachers. The 9 students who managed to escape the river that night were irrevocably changed. A year later, after one of the survivors dies by suicide on the anniversary of the crash, the rest of them make a pact to come together each year to commemorate that terrible night, to keep one another safe, hold one another accountable, or both. Their annual meeting place, a house on the Outer Banks, has long been a refuge, but by the 10th anniversary, Cassidy Bent has worked to distance herself from the tragedy and from the other survivors. She's changed her mobile number. She's blocked the others' email addresses. This year, she's determined to finally break ties once and for all. But on the day of the reunion, she receives a text with an obituary attached. Another survivor is gone. Now they are 7, and Cassie finds herself hurtling back toward the group, wild with grief and suspicion. Almost immediately, something feels off this year. Cassidy is the first to notice when Amaya, the annual organizer, slips away, overwhelmed. This wouldn't raise alarm except for the impending storm. Suddenly, they're facing the threat of closed roads and surging waters again. Then Amaya stops responding to her phone. After all they've been through, she wouldn't willfully make them worry, would she? And as they promised long ago, each survivor will do whatever he or she can to save one another, won't they? And that is the synopsis for The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. I'm hoping to read it this weekend, which is Easter weekend, before its official pub day on Tuesday, August 11th, 2023, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. My second book of the month choice for this month was Romantic Comedy by Sittenfeld, and I have only heard amazing things about romantic comedy, and it was also a pick for Reese's Book Club, which kind of makes me think, oh, maybe it won't be that great of a book, because I don't always love Reese's picks, but I've seen a lot of good reviews for this. Here's about romantic comedy. Sally Mills is a sketch writer for The Night Owls, a late-night live comedy show that airs every Saturday. With a couple of heartbreaks under her belt, she's long abandoned the search for love, settling instead for the occasional hookup, career success, and a close relationship with her stepfather to round out a satisfying life. But when Sally's friend and fellow writer Danny Horst begins dating Annabelle, a glamorous actress who guest hosted the show, he joins the not-so-exclusive group of talented but average-looking and even dorky men at the show, and in society at large, who've gotten romantically involved with incredibly beautiful and accomplished women. Sally channels her annoyance into a sketch called The Danny Horst Rule, poking fun at this phenomenon, while underscoring how unlikely it is that the reverse would ever happen for a woman. Enter Noah Brewster, a pop music sensation with a reputation for dating models, who signed on as both host and musical guest for this week's show. Dazzled by his charms, Sally hits it off with Noah instantly, and as they collaborate on one sketch after another, she begins to wonder if there might actually be sparks flying. But if this isn't a romantic comedy, it's real life. And in real life, someone like him would never date someone like her, right? It sounds very intriguing. I have been a little deterred because I've heard that there's really long chapters, but that's just something that I personally need to get over when it comes to books and just learn to read at my own pace. Next is, thanks to Penguin Teen, some books from one of my favorite writing duos, which is Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. You guys, I've talked about them a few times here on the channel. I really like their adult novel, The Roughest Draft, and I recently read their most recent adult novel, which is Do I Know You? And their adult novels are fun, but their YA reads are even more fun. They just read released Never Vacation with Your Ex, which I adored. It was so cute. It brought me back to my teen days. Her parents' best friend with this other family that has a boy about the same age as her, and they grew up together going on trips every summer, and one year they date after the summer, and then the following year is, do the family still go on the trip, do they not? And they do still go on vacation, and that's Never Vacation with Your Ex. I gave this, I believe, 4 stars. It was fun, it was cute, I love the cover with it. So they also then re-released 2 of their other YA books to have matching covers to their newest, and it is If I'm Being Honest and Always Never Yours. Always Never Yours is basically a Romeo and Juliet retelling with a thespian in high school and her falling in love or having a crush on someone, and it goes from there. But this was a fun read. I like the initial cover a lot, and this story does fit better with this cover. Then next that they have republished with the new covers, If I'm Being Honest. Cameron Bright has a lot to say and even more to learn about love. Turns out being gorgeous and popular doesn't get you off the hook for being a total B-word. Yes, Cameron didn't get the memo. So when her crush Andrew balks at her nasty ways, she'll do anything to get back in his favor. Anything takes the form of a self-taming project a la Shakespeare's famous shrew, Catherine. If Cameron can prove to Andrew she's changed for the better, he'll have to give her another chance. But facing her flaws head-on is no easy task, especially when making amends with a certain guy leads to complicated feelings. I read this one a few years ago. I don't remember it as well as I do Always Never Yours. I do remember really enjoying it. I think I gave it 3.5 to 4 stars. Again, it's YA. YA still easy reads. It validates how I felt growing up, and they're fun. Thank you, Penguin Teen, and I fully support this writing duo. They are husband and wife. They write books nonstop. They had a book come out, I believe, this past January, and then Never Vacation with Your Ex just came out. Wow, they're amazing. Good writing duo. Next, from Bloom Books, is an L. Kennedy book, Rogue, a prep novel. I believe this is number 2 in the series. They sent me the first book, which is Misfit, a little while back. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but hopefully soon. I prep dark academia, prep school drama, and it sounds really good. Bloom Books is really a romance publisher, so I think that means that this will be romance. They also very kindly sent me this highlighter and sticky tabs, and then on the back it says that Misfit is about Sloane and RJ, and Rogue is about Casey and Fen. You have it. The next one is also from Penguin Teen, and it is The Legacies by Jessica Goodman. This is an upcoming book. I've read 2 of her previous books, and I really enjoyed them. They're YA thrillers. She did The Lifeguard, and I remember liking both of them. She wrote They Wish They Were Us. They Wish They Were Us. Both really good. This one, The Legacies, is about backstabbing, betrayal, and blackmail. It's the most important week at Excelsior Prep, where a handful of seniors are preparing for lifetime membership of the exclusive Legacy Club in New York City. Bernice, the it girl, a Legacy Club blue blood shoo-in. Isabel's an artist, forever in Bernie's shadow, a sidekick, an afterthought. Tori's a scholarship kid from Queens and determined to succeed at any cost. Jessica Goodman always delivers with her books, and I'm so excited to read this one. It seems like a quick read. It's about 300 pages, if not a little bit less. Maybe I'll read that this weekend as well. We'll see. From Harper Perennial, I never know if I fully pronounced that correctly, but from Harper Perennial is 7 X's. Just this cover looks so fun. It reminds me of Funny You Should Ask, but here's what 7 X's is about. 7 X's, 7 missed chances. Who was the one who got away? Esther is nearing 30 with a great job and a flat she shares with her 2 best friends, Bibi and Louise, but her life is missing that special someone. Tired of being single and sick of bad date after bad date, she thinks she's found the answer to a romance problem in an old woman's magazine. According to the magazine's dating column, there are 7 archetypes a woman will date before finding Mr. Right. It all seems silly at first until Esther realizes she has exactly 7 exes that match the profiles. The first love, the worst mistake, the overlap, the friend with benefits, the missed chance, the bastard, and the serious one. It's so hard to believe that perhaps one of them is the one. Deciding what she must have left her true love in the reject pile, Esther contacts each of her old boyfriends. Finding her soulmate isn't as as simple as she hoped it would be. Madness, mayhem, laughs, and tears ensue as she valiantly works her way through her past love life and faces up to her previous mistakes. It's an odyssey of the heart that will not only teach her about herself, but just maybe will lead her to the man of her dreams. It sounds really promising, and it doesn't sound too much of a romance vibe for me. It kind of, the synopsis at least, almost reminds me of Beth O'Leary. Looking forward to this one. I don't know when I'll sit down to read it, but hopefully soon. This one is from Source Books, another YA, and I actually got this on NetGalley initially and really enjoyed it, and they were kind enough to send a physical copy of it. Gail Walther also wrote and published The Summer Broken Rules, which is one of my all-time summer reads. I reread it or re-listen to it every summer. The way she writes is just so fun. You feel like you are the main character in her book. You get so many different characters throughout the book that it's not confusing because of how well she writes them, and you feel attached to each of them in some way. This one, what happens after midnight, is one girl is summoned by the class joker to help with the school senior prank that year. And she's the class goody two-shoes. All the teachers know her and they're best friends. She's really hesitant to do it until she finds out that the class joker who is in charge of the senior prank is someone that she's been wanting to rekindle a friendship or even more with. She goes all in on this experience. Wild ride. I initially read it on the Kindle with my NetGalley copy. I didn't get to see the beautiful artwork that goes into each part of the book. Like Clue 1 has different things. Just a really, really fun read. I don't want to give away too much, but Gail Walther does a great job. I don't know what else to say. Like, you're so attached to each and every character, and you're sad when it ends because you feel like you just lost your friends. I hope she continues writing because they're great. And last but not least, from Celadon Books is Bird Girl by Maya Rose Craig. And this is nonfiction. It's all about her experience as a birder, environmentalist, and activist. And this is her moving memoir, Bird Girl. She chronicles her mother's struggle with mental illness and shares her passion for social justice and fierce dedication to preserving our planet. Here's a little bit of the synopsis. Maya Rose, otherwise known as Bird Girl. In her words, bird watching has never felt like a hobby. It's not a pastime I can pick up and put down. The thread running through the pattern of my life, so tightly woven that there's no way of pulling it free and leaving the rest of my life intact. Bird Girl follows Maya Rose and her family as they travel the world in search of rare birds and astonishing landscapes. The shadow moves with them too. Her mother's depending mental health crisis. In the face of this struggle, the Craigs turn to nature again and again for comfort and meaning. Each bird they see brings a moment of joy and reflection, instilling in Maya Rose a deep love of the natural world. But Maya Rose has also seen firsthand the reckless destruction we are inflicting on our fragile planet, as well as the pervasive racism infecting every corner of the world, leading her to campaign for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. Birder, activist, daughter, this is her story. And this sounds phenomenal. Wow, I'm stunned just from the synopsis. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I feel as though it will be very eye-opening, heart-wrenching, and validating too. Thank you, Celadon Books, the rest of the publishers, for my gifted copies. I'm so happy when I came home and I saw all of these books. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I was trying something new with a new setup on the video, and I don't think the lighting did too well, especially with the sun setting, so I'm sorry if the lighting was off, but I hope you still enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm still learning how to use YouTube and film the best I can, and I appreciate you guys following along. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.